Justin, I am going to just start right now
Oh,
and
we're
say
just getting
I
into it.
have
Okay.
had it with video games being adapted into movies and TV
This is
series.
so negative for our
Okay?
show. I don't know if I like
It is,
this.
it is. And here, I have caveats to my own, pronouncement. I am looking forward to the Zelda live action movie. I'm
Okay.
fascinated with that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But I want to talk about the trend. I mean, we've seen a lot of terrible video games be adapted into movies. We've done Street Fighter for the show.
Mm-hmm.
There's countless others, Super Mario Brothers. Um, but there are more of these coming in the pipe because the stories in video games have gotten so much better, so much more, complex and narrative driven and, character explorations. I shudder though to think that there is a an adaptation of Horizon Zero Dawn
So
on the horizon,
they're
not
making a
too.
show.
Yep, as well
Mm-hmm.
as an adaptation of Ghost of Tsushima.
And God of War.
Wh- And the God of War, we'll talk about that in a sec. I'm going to put that one on the side.
Okay.
But I just want to I just want to say the I think it's a terrible idea to do the Ghost of Tsushima because that game is amazing, and I this is just a secret way of me talking about Ghost of
You just
Tsushima
want
with
to talk
you.
about Ghost of
This is
Tsushima.
a ploy.
Well, before we
I
talk
sprung
about
the trap.
Ghost about Tsushima, just so you know, this is
I
playing
do have a little bit
favorites.
to say about adaptations more,
Yeah,
but I was hoping to dwell
sure.
on this.
Well, this is
Go
playing
on.
this is playing favorites. I just want to let everyone know that because that was such a what do they call it, a cold opening? Like you just kind of dived right in.
Sure. He's Justin. I'm Paul.
Mm-hmm.
This is a pseudo episode about video games being adapted into movies and television, but really it's a chance for us to talk about Ghost of Tsushima, which I haven't even finished yet, by the way. But I think it is such an amazing story and story driven game, and the gameplay of it is as close to Sony making a Zelda game, if that makes sense.
Okay. I
The
mean,
kind
I
of closeness with nature that you have in this game is it's like the land, the actual island that you're trying to defend and expel a Mongol invasion from is working with you. And so many games that we play, the environment is hostile, right? Everything's out to kill you. And some things that are, look good actually are bad for you. In this game, it feels like the whole of nature is helping you
mhm.
do this, and it's a cool feeling, and it gives me Zelda vibes, kind of Breath of the Wild, Tears of the
Okay. Well,
Kingdom,
the open world version of it, sure, I get that.
even what's it, Wind Waker, that kind of like connection to nature, like the
Mhm.
sailing,
Okay.
or but anyways, I think it's a terrible idea to adapt it into a movie because you lose all of that in a movie.
That
You're
you,
you're not
yeah.
going to be able to portray that feeling that the game provides uh, in a film. And this makes me want to segue into The Last of Us.
Oh boy. Okay. But before you segue in, I had some thoughts. I
This
have
is
played.
turned into an interrogation.
I know. Seriously, I feel like I'm being attacked. Like I made these movies happen. It's all because of me that the movies are being made by Sony and
No,
stuff.
you're just a scapegoat. It's okay.
I played Ghost of Tsushima. I've not finished it, nor did I beat it. I literally just kind of tapped out. I think I was doing too many open world games at the time.
Happens.
I completely agree with your take on the game from the moment for what I played. I think maybe I put like 6 hours into it or something like that. So I'm not sure
Yeah.
exactly where it stopped. I think the to before you go on your I don't know what you want to call it, vendetta against game adaptations. Um, but I think the issue is that there isn't a lot of media to pull from in movies. Like I mean, a lot of the stuff is based on a book or a comic book or maybe an old TV show they make a movie based on, or sometimes even a board game. Right? They've done stuff like that. Not that they're all been good. Hey, Clue is a
Yeah.
great movie. We've talked about it. It can happen.
But
Um,
you're describing the symptoms of like what's wrong with the movie industry right now, right?
I
Is
mean,
that
but
like
that's
there's
been the
no
thing.
room
That's
really
been a
for there's not a lot of room for original voices in there, or
yeah,
even just like
sure, but that's
blockbuster kind of like human driven with decent actors. I don't know.
it's been a thing for ages, though. I just think we just kind of are reached a breaking point. We've been
Uh,
through that adaptation before. I mean, we've done reviews on the Street Fighter movie and the Mortal Kombat movie, and video game movies were always big for us as a kid. But look at the one of the best movies of this year. We're recording this is Minecraft, so it works as far as like that goes. I get
oh,
that.
for
Yes,
this,
I
which
understand.
is not what we're discussing, though.
I understand.
Yes,
Okay, I get that. But I think there is selective ways to do game adaptations of certain things. Funny enough, we just did an episode
sure.
before this recording. I was talking about Myst, about how I think that'd be kind of a unique way of kind of explaining that game in more of a video movie sense, because it is kind of trying to give a story. Because a lot of games like The Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima, even Uncharted, and a lot of modern day games kind of put movie kind of quality stories into their game, so therefore it's
Yes.
easy to translate it back to a movie because they were trying to make movies in their game to kind of get it more mainstream. And it was kind of an exciting thing when you started getting like good acting in a video game and good motion capture and like actually getting emotion from a video game. But could you still convey that? I've seen many game translations to film and movie that I was surprised in how good they turned out. So like where I didn't think they'd be good, like so. I guess I give them the benefit of the doubt that we haven't seen it yet. So is it a good idea, bad idea? Probably on paper it's a bad idea, but could it be good? I don't know. I haven't seen it yet.
Well, look, we got an Uncharted movie. Way too late though,
Way too late.
right?
Fun.
Way
It
too
was
late.
fun. I'll give it that. It was a fun
But
movie, but it wasn't.
forgettable. But
Sure,
forgettable. Like it's here and it's gone. Not like, I mean, there are a couple. Um, you're right that there are saving graces. Like there are certain ones that are doing it well. I feel like, um not to steer back to like Last of Us just yet, but I forgot just now you mentioned another game as well that, if I'm talking about
modern day
Ghost of
game.
Tsushima. um yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, look,
Anyways, go ahead.
in Last of Us, I think a lot of people's problems with the story of the second game and what happens and how it kind of resolves, like we've talked about this, you've
Sure,
like the ending and like what happens to the Ellie character, and that's a story choice in a video game, which is fine, and people may agree with it or not like it. But translating that story, the first and second season, the first and second game, seems just like, um I don't know, easy in a sense. It's like, take this already well acted thing and, all right, just copy it basically. There's a lot of that. And Last of Us is not like, I'm not trying to say that those actors are and their performances are just copies. I'm saying the writing is basically a copy of that. They expand the dialogue in some ways, they add characters or move things around. Sure, but it's like they already have a ready made good thing. And the experience of playing those games, making the choices that you have to make while playing those games, and like, you know, going through with certain things, like when the game, let's talk, we can steer it to God of War. That's what I wanted to talk about. When you're punching Zeus to death, like you can just keep punching Zeus. Like you could still be doing it right now. You could still be punching him. That was a choice. Like, how do you portray that kind of thing in a movie?
sure, but that
That
it's
interactive nature of it is lost in a film.
but at the same token, you got
Different
people
medium.
that won't play the game that could still get enjoyment from that story. Is my point. So, like, I know many people that have watched the first season of Last of Us. I know the second season. I haven't watched the second season, but I know it didn't do as well review wise. But
Everything doesn't have to be for everybody, though. I mean, so what? Like, why couldn't that be just a great thing for people who play video games? We have this great thing,
so
this piece of art. Why taint it with these, like,
I don't know.
mediocre, not great, not
Sure,
bad, but just mediocre adaptations? It doesn't do them
I would say
justice. It takes away.
Last of Us season one is probably one of the best adaptations of a video game. I mean, it really is really good. Like
Okay.
they really made it work for the medium and added extra things to majority of it. To be fair though, I will be honest with you and transparent. I stopped before I finished it because I got all I needed from it from playing the game. But I know people that have not played the
Uh,
game that loved it, and
yes.
you
Is
need.
that such yeah, like,
But
do
like
we need these people?
at the same time, like one of the best episodes I've really ever seen in a lot of shows was put into that season, which is completely separate from the game. It has characters from the game, but they really
Mhm.
fleshed it out. Where I think what's his name? Is it Nate Offerman? Is that the actor? Is that his
Yeah.
name from Parks and Rec?
Yes.
He was nominated
Yeah.
for like best like guest starring actor and all that stuff. Freaking a phenomenal episode that has nothing to do with Ellie and Joel. It's like a completely
Yes.
standalone story that connects to them and relates to them, and honestly prevents the role that Nate Offerman plays, that character, way better than the game ever did. Because the game is obviously still restricted in a way, in ways, to gameplay,
Sure.
right?
Okay. Yes, and this is why I feel like it's important to talk about this show. You're like, there are things in a way to kind of make up for the lack of interaction in that way. So you're getting backstory in a way that you wouldn't be able to find in the game.
Hmm.
Or if it was like buried lore or something you read, you actually get to see it played out or something like that.
Yeah, like you think of like the backstory, like well, a lot of games do this, but I mean, I know one that you know of is like the Arkham games where you have like the little recordings that you find and you get a lot of history and lore and all that stuff. A
Sure,
show could
sure.
probably present that information in a more compelling way than just like listening to a little radio diary or reading a book in a game where some half the time you probably skip it because you're engaged with the clicking around and doing the thing and like finding the puzzle and finding the key and beating up the guy. Like you don't, some people might take the time to read it, but not everyone does, or they say they're going to go back to it, but then they get distracted and they do something else. Your sense of
They never
agency,
read it.
yeah, their sense of agency doesn't allow the people that write the story that is great and in the game, almost the game itself deters them from experiencing that story. Where the show or a movie, the director, I think games work better as a show. Personally, I think you have more time
Yes,
to kind of present
because
it.
you're able to do the Nick Offerman episode. You could do
Yes.
that kind of stuff.
So I
Yeah,
think
no, that makes sense.
there's a
That
place
makes
for it.
sense.
Now the oversaturation of it, maybe like I think the thing too now more recently, because we got this a lot when we were kids, but I think this we know about these adaptations way too far in advance. So you know all these things are being
Sure.
made, right? Like you have like
Announced
this
like
you have this
7 years in
list
advance.
you have this list of like 8 games that are going to be made where if you think 20 years ago, you don't know about it till you go watch uh Jurassic Park 2 Lost Worlds, and it's like a trailer for the Indian in the cupboard. What is this? Like
That's a callback to our favorite trailers
yes.
episode.
So I'm just saying, like, I think
Look to our back
it
catalog for that one.
I don't think it's, you're not completely wrong. I'm just thinking there is a sense of that. I know, like, for
There's a middle
instance,
ground.
yeah, like I know like Cyberpunk's anime is supposedly like like way better than the game, like supposedly or something. The game's great
Oh,
still
sure.
too, but
And remember, I'm specifically targeting at this moment film, like the movie format, like a
sure.
90 to 200 minute or so film.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm like most afraid of. Because if you told me you were going to do a Ghost of Tsushima series and you were going to make it anime, I would be like,
Sure.
hell yeah, I would totally watch that. Kurosawa style, the black, the red, make it monochromatic. Like, hell yes, that would work so well. But if you're making it into a movie, like a live action movie, why?
Yeah,
Like the same way that you felt that you turned off Last of Us because you already got what you got from it. You know, like you knew how the story ended. You, in a sense, you were like, I've already watched this.
yeah. I mean,
And
there's
that's the
there's a
problem
little bit of
because you're
that.
trying to like
Yeah,
draw
yeah.
an audience, as you're saying, of people who uh, don't play the game. Well, I say make them play the game. Don't make them go to the movies. Nobody's going to the movies, you know? And if it just goes to streaming hell, then nobody's really going to see
This
it.
this comes from somebody that hasn't finished Last of Us as well, just so everyone knows.
But one can appreciate art without necessarily like loving every minute of it or playing through every minute of it.
I
I
call
can
you out.
appreciate War and Peace without having actually read it.
Let me ask you this though: what type of game makes a good movie or show? So, like, for example, like,
I have answers for you.
okay, but I'm going to give you some examples. So, like, I agree, like things like that are AAA that already have like a sense of like quality and acting and motion capture, things like that. Great, but could you showcase a game like Celeste that is hard to play but has a really unique, crazy story that kind of like could be interesting in a movie format or a like a that I would say movie for Celeste more than a show because it's just a simpler thing where
Yeah,
there's just people.
it would be a series of shorts or one
Sure,
standalone thing.
because I
Yeah,
think there's a
you
really
could,
good story to tell
could.
there that could even be
But
potentially.
how do you incorporate the jumping and dashing?
That's the thing. That's for the director to like sell me on that, right? Or maybe I just think you could have a compelling story that
It's
someone
just
could, because it deals with a lot of things. You could take it a few different directions, right? Of how you handle that kind of a story.
I
Um,
know. You could have Big Bertha give them jump boots. Give Celeste jump boots, and that explains how she's able to jump.
yes, because that's a great representation of video game adaptation right there, right there.
Classic.
Oddly enough, though, the more I sit back, though, I'd rather watch the live action Mario movie than the new Mario movie. Again,
Yeah, I
I
would
like
agree with you.
I like I like the new one. It's great. It's fun. It's a Mario movie. It's what it is. It's cool, but like
Boring. It's boring.
it's fun.
It's
It's fun.
boring.
I wasn't bored.
It's fun for kids. Yes. If you were George Lucas, yes. It's made for children. Yes. It's for kids. It's not meant for us. It's not. It's boring.
I had
It's
fun.
boring. It's just enough.
I had fun watching it with my kids. Let's put it that way.
Sure. Of
Okay.
course. Kids movie.
It should have had more Mario music in it though. I think that was the one downside about it. I don't think that was a good choice. But
Well, don't
anyways.
worry. Super Mario World will come out
Hmm.
probably in a couple years. It's confirmed. Some kind of sequel is coming.
Oh yeah, they had a teaser. Yoshi's got to show up, obviously.
I have an answer for your question though. When you asked what's a good movie that's been adapted into a video game,
Oh no, what
because
kind
there
of
are
game is good to adapt into a movie? That's what I mean. That was my
oh
question. Like,
oh
what kind of game works?
well
If you're
very easy
saying,
like story driven third person um like
yeah, but see, that's the thing. You're saying that's not a good idea to do because you don't want them to adapt all those third person story driven games that already
well
have a good story. That's what it's.
let me refine my point a little here. What I mean is some games lend themselves better to that kind of storytelling, to a movie storytelling. Why I'm excited about the Zelda one is because the Zelda storyline is whatever the hell you want it to be,
Okay,
but it's
sure.
always going to be Link, Zelda, and Ganon, you know, and Triforces and whatever the fuck around it. You can have Rauru, King, whatever, the boat, Lion Man, whatever you want. Sure,
They're gonna do Spirit Tracks. That's what they're gonna do.
it's going to be all the human actors are actually voice actors, and it's all going to be cell shading, and everyone's going to be so upset.
You know, I what this is what
But
I hope they do for that. This
what
is
I'm saying,
well, hold on, hold
oh,
on.
hold on,
This is
no, you hold on. We'll
oh
come back to Zelda. You got to hold this point. I'm just trying to say that like that kind of story lends itself well to a movie because you could tell a 90-minute Zelda story, you know? Like one of the many branches of the Zelda timeline or whatever. Um but a good version would be The Warriors, all right? That kind of movie and that kind of game, a beat 'em up game could be a good movie.
So what? Like Streets of Rage could be a good movie. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, this is actually there is a Streets of Rage film adaptation coming in the next couple years. So
Man, I probably heard this and I
thank
don't
you.
remember.
I got to drop the Warriors and love them.
Um,
Honestly, the Warriors is a really great adaptation of a movie into a video game.
but
That's how it
that's
should be.
going the other way though. That's the other way.
I know they should do that more often.
But they can't if they're.
Uh,
So wait, you're telling me they should do that more often?
they
But they're.
run out of
Well,
ideas.
no, like
They should make a midsummer game. You know what I'm saying? Or The Witch, the game.
no.
This is what I'm saying.
What I was gonna
Someone
say.
should
Wait,
try.
this is what I was gonna say was that if they're gonna make games based on movies, then the game would be based on a movie that's based on a game.
Yes. All right. So now you need Captain Lou Albano to show up in the next Mario Brothers movie, and then multiverse confirmed.
So for the Zelda movie, this is what I want the director to do: is if he
What?
really wants to do it right, is make everyone else talk in the movie, but then do text boxes for Link. Don't have him talking. Like you just have no voice.
Just he just grunts. He doesn't need to talk. He just,
Yeah. Did you see they casted the Zelda in Link? Did you see them? Did you
yeah,
see the casting?
you sent that to me.
I
Yep.
wasn't
And
sure if
my
I sent it to you.
nephew actually. Yeah, I got it sent. A couple people sent it to me. I will say to you what I said to them. Casting of Zelda and Link is irrelevant.
Sure.
It is Ganondorf, whoever they cast for Ganondorf. If
I
they do
I would
Ganondorf,
argue that Impa is a pretty
that
good
would
cat.
be.
Is a very important as well too. If they do Impa, I think Impa is
Who do
important.
you like? What do you will it just be like original Ganon, or will they do like a Breath of the Wild type of thing and do like the
Calamity
Calamity?
Gammon. Man, bring back Demise. I love the design for Demise.
You know, he was, and it wasn't like a great boss fight, but the
Oh,
final boss fight
just
was cool. It was
yeah.
super cool.
Yep. Yeah.
When you do your sword thing, you'd get the lightning would strike
Hmm.
you. That was cool. Cool fight.
Yeah, so
Yes.
I think just these companies are they're like Sony. I think is the reason why you're noticing all these game adaptations because they are a movie company and a game company, right? They're all in the
Yes.
same, so they're gonna use their own
Huh.
resources to make it. But like you're right, do we need it? Maybe the gamer doesn't, though. There is a fraction, may I would say more than 50% of the people that played Ghost of Tsushima, or maybe around 50%, that would be excited for a movie. But I would say not as much as excitement for a God of War movie. So like I think there's a difference in like I want to see a God of War movie. To be quite honest, I
Is
think
that
it'd
going
be
to be a movie or
or show.
a
Sorry, show. I
show?
mean, but whatever.
Is it going to be a show?
They're kind of
And,
they're
and
kind of
who's doing it?
they're kind of the same now. Like I mean, movies and shows they're kind of the same
No,
quality
not the
ish.
same budgets. Quality in some, but TV budgets are still
All I can
dwarf
say, it's gonna
sometimes
look
on
better
TV
than the Mortal
budgets.
Kombat 2 movie. That's all I'm gonna
I was
say.
waiting for you to say you mentioned Mortal Kombat when we were talking earlier, and I was like, I just started laughing thinking
um,
about that trailer.
it's gonna be on Amazon, so that could go either way. But then I'm like,
Freaking Mordor.
yeah, I don't know. I don't. Unless it's changed. Last time I knew it was an Amazon show. I don't know anymore. I feel like it keeps changing and stuff. So who knows?
Well, I think Sony has the partnership with Amazon to do
Yeah,
that for like
but
distribution.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, they make. I remember they made a Gran Turismo movie, which they did that was uniquely done to
It
a
was.
degree. I didn't watch it, but the concept seemed kind of neat. Like I guess it was based on a true.
Exactly.
It was based on like a
You
kind of
should watch it then.
a true story or something like that. I think. I think it was like
Sort
sort
of.
of like
Yeah.
very
It
loosely
was
based on right the idea like
some
some
kid
Gran
who was
Turismo.
so good at Gran Turismo that he actually
Yeah. So
could drive.
and I would say some of the movies that they've made based on games like Uncharted was fun. I honestly personally love the third Tomb Raider movie. Like the third Tomb Raider, not the Angelina Jolie ones. The third one, the one that they recasted her, like that was actually really good. I enjoyed that. But
Oh, wasn't that the one based on the modern game?
kinda.
Like
It was
the
like
modern series?
more based on it, yeah. And I thought it deserved. I thought the actress they picked for her was good, and it had a more of a grittier kind of tone. It was a fun movie. But
But
that
again,
was back. That was a while ago.
But again, Tomb Raider was still like a nostalgia trip for people,
Sure.
even though they were a
Yeah.
good set of games too. Like those modern Tomb Raiders were a good set of games. However, yeah, making a movie based off of that, they
I don't
already
know.
tried.
I mean,
And it was just like the first game story, like again.
what, the modern
So,
ones?
yeah, the Tomb Raider movie that you're describing, the
Oh,
newer,
oh. I mean, it was kind of based on the. It wasn't. I feel it was a
they
little.
cherry picked some
They
stuff,
cherry picked. Yeah.
but
I thought it
it
was a
wasn't the Lara Croft of old.
no, but
No,
I thought it
not
was a
that
good
at all.
adaptation. I thought that they handled it well. That was all. I'm not saying it was like. I don't go to these game adaptation movies expecting like I guess the best thing
But
ever.
we should when those games give sometimes like what I feel like are Oscar worthy
but
performances
but what but
or move the audience in a way that you're or challenge them in
what
a way
game
that
movie
gets them
has come out?
uncomfortable.
Would you have expected that? Like Laura Croft, I wouldn't expect that. Minecraft, I wouldn't expect that. Resident Evil, I
If
wouldn't
you're
expect that. Like I mean,
if
what?
you're telling me that they're going to make a God of War one, I kind of expect that. I kind of
Well,
expect a
I
movie that's going to
yes, I'm with you
try to
there.
move me at
I'm
least.
just saying past tries. I haven't really seen a property that they've converted into a movie or show that I think equates to like me thinking it's going to be this awesome thing. I guess I just expect it to be kind of fun.
Would you say like they haven't been able to have the same emotional impact
No,
as the original game? I 100% agree with you, and I feel like that's the root of this
got it.
is
Okay,
that in the end we get something that's meh at best. You know,
sure.
we don't get
Pop,
we get something like that might have like some bright spots, but will
sure.
you go back and revisit it?
But
Probably
the
not.
popcorn's delicious. That's all that matters.
You know, I feel like I'm not asking for too much these days. Just make wasn't the cell phone supposed to make everyone become a filmmaker? Like, can't we just have more original movies?
um,
Anyway, I want to see like
maybe
a modern day Demolition Man, like weird ones, you know, like
weird one.
those,
Okay. Well,
you
maybe we'll
know,
get
like
it.
U-Turn, weird shit.
U turn.
You remember that
I
movie?
never
It was
watched it,
weird.
but I remember.
The people under the stairs,
So you just want
the stuff
more
that,
the original
yeah.
Mario Brother movies. That's really what you want. You want the
No,
original Mario Brother
no,
movie.
no, stop inserting an IP in there every time. Just original ideas, period. Full stop.
Maybe we just ran out. Maybe there's just none left
I don't think so.
that
Okay,
can get funding.
honestly,
What's it that to
seeing
get
seeing
funding?
in what's it? Everyone says funding. Like if it's good, it'll be good. Um, what's it? Like like Bo Burnham, that Inside album and show. That was all just people who were either into him. Like it got like really popular, but it was still like
Sure.
a small section of the population that even like heard of that. And it's like like we talked about that one before. It's like kind of a modern
Hmm.
masterpiece.
I mean,
So
I'm with you. I'm with you. I just I still I have hope for some of these things though too. I have hope. I have some hope.
I'm still going to be interested.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch what happens,
I
and
just
I
think
will
it's
probably see the Zelda movie.
I think it's just weird translating games to the big screen because I think you have more of a concrete expectation of what it's supposed to feel and look like. Where you convert a comic book to a movie, it's like you might still be annoyed with it, but
A little
there's
easier. You're giving it life.
yeah,
Yeah.
like I mean we've had complaints on the comic book translation. If you do too comic booky, it doesn't come off right. You have to find the right director that just knows how to like convert it and just make it work for the medium, and I think you're good. But like announcing like having people make them isn't a bad idea. You're just you I think you just we've been just burned too many times that it's kind of hard to trust one that's gonna hit, right? So
Yep.
we'll have to see. It's a wait and see thing. I just don't think we've had enough good options as far as video game
No, and I want to stop
adaptations.
them. I want to stop them.
But then
I want to tell them stop poaching from our awesome medium. Keep do film. Film is great. Do film. Video games, just do
do you
you.
remember they made a Tetris movie? Do you remember this? Did you remember this Tetris movie where they like made it seem like it was like this espionage like He was fighting the
Yeah,
Russians to get it. Like,
and the guy ripping off another dude for
I
like
thought that was unique.
I mean, you know what? That should go into like the trailers Hall of Fame because the
Sure,
trailers for that made it seem like it was
awesome.
way more interesting than
Yeah.
it is. And the
All
whole
right.
movie was about just like based loosely on some events somebody remembered once.
So to sum it up, you really like Ghost of Tsushima. You're excited for the Zelda movie because
Big fan.
you have you have high hopes for that. But then everything else that's a video game adaptation, you're just like, no, just get rid of it.
I
That's
wouldn't say I have high hopes for Zelda. I'd say I have reasonable hopes that they won't embarrass themselves, which is why what's his name? Kojima won't allow a Metal Gear Solid movie because they feel like it would irreparably damage the franchise if it was subpar. So they're
I thought they are making
like
one.
they were, and it got shelved because of COVID, and then they
Oh,
redoubled and said no,
that they
like
got it.
we're not going to go forward with it. So right now the project is
I
axed.
think Death
So
Stranding is getting a show though.
yes, it is a show.
Show or movie? I don't
Yeah,
know. I never know what it is, but it probably should be a show. I mean, that's the thing too. Like, how do you? Why not just play the game for that? But anyways, we'll have to wait and see.
I love that time when you fell off the ladder. That's one of my favorite moments
That's
in
where
a
and I
video
stopped.
game.
Go check our shorts. It's on there. I gotta go back to that game. I miss doing that stuff. I should go
You were
back
so
to that.
proud of yourself. You put your first ladder down, and you're all like, "This is great." And then you're like, "Oh, wait a minute!
No, no,
It goes to
no.
nowhere, and there's like the Grand Canyon below me."
Yeah.
And you're like,
Well,
"Can I stop
anyways.
myself?" And it's like, "Nope." Once you've committed to going down the ladder.
Well, do you have anything else to add to your
No,
soapbox here?
thank you for indulging me in this diatribe. But I will stick up for the Warriors though, and that's the best kind of adaptation. Really, it is. It does all the things you liked about that one episode of Last of Us. It expands on the universe, makes it richer.
Sure, if you say so.
But anyway, thanks for playing along. I'm Paul.
I'm Justin.
We'll see you next time.
Maybe they'll get a video game adaptation of this show someday. Who knows?
And there's like one of those, like where you have to like stop it in the center things of whether we'll start at 9 o'clock. It's like 10:30.